Okay, so last night we talked about Jacob finally parts ways with Laban. Okay, so I want you to remember in your mind that Jacob left home and went to Laban's, right? And then left Laban's and came home, all right? So in the middle of, at the beginning of the story, when he left home, let's go back to there, okay? He had just stolen Esau's birthright, and then he stole Esau's blessing. And Mom said, and then Esau's like, as soon as dad dies, you're dead, buddy, to Jacob. And now, so then Jacob ran Isaac's wife Rebecca, Jacob's mom. It's like, Jacob, man, you need to get out of town. Go live with Laban, right? So Jacob left, went to live with Laban. Then things got bad with Laban. And now he's like, whew, man, I finally got it. So he's coming back home, right? So he's walking back home. He's like, oh, I'm so glad Laban's out of my life. Oh, wait. What was over here? Oh, crap. Esau, yeah, man, I really ticked him off. Oh, what am I going to do now? Oh, I can't go back to Laban. Oh, I hated working for him for all those years, 20 years. I don't want to go back there. No, I don't want to go home. God told me to go back to Dad's house, Isaac's house, and no, Esau's there. Oh, what am I going to do? That's the way I see it in my brain, okay? So, Jacob went on his way, and angels, plural, angels of God came and met him. When Jacob saw them, he called it the camp of God. Alright, so angels, that's the second time on this trip. On the trip there, he saw the angels ascending and descending on the ladder. And the Lord told him he was going to be a great nation. He was going to have lots of land. Went to Laban's. Now he's coming back, okay? And angels come again and see him. So God is very present in Jacob's life. He's really showing him. He's talking to him. Angels are visiting him. God's very, very present. All right? So, angels, Jacob sent messengers ahead of him, and he said to his brother Esau, and he instructed them, this is what you are to say to Esau, my master. Your servant Jacob says, I have been staying with Laban and have remained there until now. I have cattle, donkeys, sheep, goats, men servants, maid servants. Now I am sending this message to my Lord that I may find favor in your eyes. So he's basically, we were kids back then. Maybe there's a lot of times passed. It's been 20 years, so maybe Esau has forgiven me. So he's like, I'm sending this message. I want to be friends. May I find favor in your eyes. Let's not fight. So when the messengers returned to Jacob, they said, we went to your brother Esau, and now he's coming to meet you, and 400 men are with him. Does that sound like it's going to be a favorable reunion? He's bringing 400 men. It's like he's really ticked, and he's going to bring lots of guys with him so that he can totally annihilate you. That's what it sounds like. So in great fear and distress, so is Jacob happy, excited, delighted to see his brother, or what? So in great fear and distress, Jacob divided the people who were with him into two groups. So he divided all of his sheep, his herds, his camels, and all of the people. He divided it into two groups, and he thought, well, if Esau comes and grabs one group of people, maybe the other group can go escape. So his whole family and all of his stuff he divided up. All right, and that's what he said. He said he thought if Esau comes to attack one group, the group that is left may escape. And then Jacob prayed, and this is a really powerful prayer. He says, "Oh God, the Father of Abraham, the Father of Isaac." Okay, so you were Grandpa's father, your Grandpa's God, your dad's God, you're my God, and you said, "Oh Lord, who said to me, you told me, who said to me, go back to your country and to your relatives, and I'll make you prosper. You told me to go back, and I am unworthy of all your kindness and faithfulness that you've done to me. I had only my staff when I crossed over. So when he went to Laban's, he had a staff. And when he came back, he's been two companies, so many people and so many animals, two big, gigantic groups of people. You have shown kindness to your servant. I had only my staff when I crossed the Jordan, but now I have become two groups. Save me, I pray, from the hand of my brother Esau, for I am afraid he will come and attack me. And also, it's like, so, you're the God of Grandpa, Dad, and me. You told me to come here. Please help me. And don't forget, he's like, and also, don't forget, the mothers with the children. It's like, you know, not just me, it's the kids and the mothers. You have said, I will surely make you. You told me, I'm going to make you prosper, and I'll make your descendants like the sands of the seashore. So it's like, if I die, you know, how is that going to be prosperous? That doesn't sound like prosperity to me. So, you said, I will surely make you prosper, and will make your descendants like the sands of the sea. So he spent the night there, and from there he selected a gift. And what he did is he put like 200 female goats, 20 male goats, 200 ewes, 20 rams, 30 female camels, 40 cows, 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys, and 10 male donkeys. He put them in care of his servants, and each one of those groups he sent and put ahead. Okay, so he'd send them away. Y'all go see Esau, and then he'd wait like an hour, and then he'd send another group. He'd wait an hour and send another group. He just says he put space in between them. I don't know how much space it was, but what his plan was that this big bunch of animals would come, right, to Esau, and the servant that was with him would say, this is a gift from Jacob. Jacob loves you. He's so happy he's going to see you, right? So he's like, it's a gift. All right, so he instructed each one of his servants, when my brother Esau meets you and asks, to whom do you belong, where are you going, and who owns all these animals in front of you, then you are to say, they belong to your servant Jacob. They are a gift sent to my lord Esau, and he is coming behind us. All right, so he instructed each servant, the second, the third, and so forth and so on. And this is what he thought. He thought, I will pacify, which means like keep him from being angry, like settle his anger and his temper. Pacify him with these gifts I'm sending on ahead. All right, and then later, perhaps at the very end, he will receive me. So Jacob's gifts went on ahead of him. All these groups, all right. And then, so they all leave, and then Jacob's left alone. All right. So then a man comes to him, and he wrestles with Jacob all night long. All right. So he's in the middle of this really anxious time, and at night a man comes and wrestles with Jacob all night. And later he says, I've struggled with God and with man. So we know this is something to do with the Lord. And I don't really understand it. Maybe Mom, maybe you can explain this a little bit better, because I never have really understood this part. But basically Jacob is wrestling with God. So I don't know. You can't see the Lord and live, one verse says in the Bible. So not for sure how this all works out, but this is a figurative wrestling and prayer. If it's a dream, if you really did see God, and God just this one time was okay to see God, I'm not for sure. It's okay though. It's okay to wrestle with what the Bible says, because I still believe it's all true. All right. So he wrestled, and the man touched him in his hip, and his hip got out of socket, so he was limping, and finally he said, let me go, and Jacob said, I'm not going to let you go unless you bless me. And the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and men and have overcome." So, probably God. God's in the name-changing business. Was God. I just don't know how he saw him face to face and yet was spared. So we'll ask Jesus when we get to heaven. But so God came down, wrestled with Jacob, gave him a crippled hip. So he was limping because of his hip, and he has a new name, Israel, which is a nation today. Israel. From way back in that much of the very, very beginning of the Bible, we have Israel. The nation Israel is still here today. God's special chosen people, way back from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Kind of cool to go and see the promised land that was promised to Abraham. So Jacob looked up, and there he's limping. He hadn't had any sleep all night long, and he looked up, and there's Esau coming, 400 men. All right. So he starts bowing. "Hello, I'm here. I'm bowing. Look at me. It's all good. Peace." He's bowed 7 times to the ground as his brother approached. And Esau ran to meet Jacob. And so I just wonder, I try to think about what that looked like. You see? And Esau comes up, and he's like, and he hugs him. Esau hugs his brother. And so then Jacob shows all of his kids from the slave girls, the maid servants, and each one of them, and then his least favorite wife, Leah, and then his favorite, Rachel and Joseph, right? He shows them, and he's like, "These are all my family," and they're happy, and Esau is all okay, and they're happy, and then Esau says, "Well, come live with me," and Jacob says, "Okay, I'll be there in a little bit because of all the family. I got to take care of stuff." And he went to the land, and he bought some ground, a plot of ground, and now he has some actual land in the promised land. So God's promises are coming true.